Hello, and welcome to another episode of I Hate Your Movie.
Hello.
This is a movie podcast where we inflict movies upon each other for entertainment purposes.
Since patrons are listening to this, they know that already, I think.
Alright. It's part of the intro, isn't it? No one cuts the intro out of Breaking Bad. People know they're watching Breaking Bad.
Okay. I'm Rick.
Yo, I'm Rick. 2 Ricks today. Are you lucky? This week we watched a 1985 film.
What? I thought... Hold on.
Are we not doing...
Spoilers for listeners.
This week we are doing a special episode about unpopular films that we like. We did popular films we don't like, and now we're doing the opposite.
Yeah, I struggled with naming it because unpopular doesn't quite encapsulate it.
Yeah.
Because it could be like, it made money, but it's critically panned, or generally unliked movies that we like.
So I went pure people route, and I looked up box office bombs. I looked up the lowest of, on Rotten Tomatoes. I have to say, most of the bottom of Rotten Tomatoes is deservedly there.
Yeah.
So didn't find much that I liked. But I have a list of 5. Do you have a list of 5?
I have a list of 6.
Now I have to find another one.
2 I already spoiled, kind of, in another podcast, so
Okay.
that's why I included an extra one.
I've put mine in order of IMDb scores.
Ooh, I've done no such thing. Mine is kind of random, but somehow related.
Okay.
There's 3 sci-fi films in here.
Right. I think I've got a decent mix. You start with one.
Let's start with the one that everyone knows already. If you listen to our Jack Skellington podcast, 2 films, Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia 2. Here we go again. These movies couldn't be further away from each other in quality, and I love both of them.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't say it's a guilty pleasure, because I fucking love ABBA. I have no guilt. They fucking rock, okay?
Yeah.
ABBA rocks. What's your opinion on ABBA?
Overrated would be my opinion on ABBA.
No, they fucking rock, man.
I'll tell you what is cool about ABBA.
Yeah.
Have you seen their show, their London show?
Oh, the creepy hologram show.
ABBA Voyage.
Yeah, I've seen ads for it.
That looks cool. I'd go see that.
They look like dead-eyed puppets.
No. They look like they're straight out of a Tron film.
Yeah, that's true
sick.
as well. It doesn't really fit their music.
No, it doesn't.
Anyway, I always loved ABBA. I think I've seen the original Mamma Mia, and that's the full title, 5 times in the cinema. Mamma Mia is a movie, you watch it and you can see it's completely unplanned. And completely just kind of the Adam Sandler model of let's go on a holiday and kind of shoot something and then we'll make it into a movie later. The biggest thing in it that gives away that this movie is unplanned is that no one cared to check if Pierce Brosnan can actually sing. And he sings 3 songs in the movie.
It used to be so nice, it used to be so good.
And he's awful. He's really bad.
You'd think in the days of auto-tune, you could at least make him sound good.
Yeah, and it's just a terribly plotted, horrible, terrible movie with awesome ABBA music. And I'm also a sucker for Who's the Daddy movies, and there's 3 dads in this.
Okay, so explain this to me. I've never seen the film.
Yeah.
I know the basic plot. So the mum in this film, not to kind of shame anyone for anything, how does she not know who the father is?
I think it's just kept vague. They never explain it.
Right. Is the implication that she's banged 3 dudes in a really small space of time,
Yeah.
and now she doesn't know who's who?
Yeah.
So it has to be, at the very most, within the same month,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you go, girl. Hashtag Slay Queen. And then, Mamma Mia 2, as I told you before, greatest sequel of all time. And I say that with zero irony, zero sarcasm. Fucking watch Mamma Mia, and then watch Mamma Mia 2. That's like a real movie now. They wrote a script It's not just people going on vacation, and it's still people singing ABBA, and I love ABBA. I think if you put any ABBA song in any movie, I think it'll make it like 5-10% better for me.
Didn't look up at ratings or
I don't care.
box office.
It's 10 out of 10 in my heart, both of them. Women sometimes like it, but not even as a fan, more like a watch in the background kind of movie. I don't think it has a fandom.
Because you see these cinemas do like sing-alongs and
Yeah.
like, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I'm the only fan of these movies. I'm the only true fan. Over to you.
Right, so I wasn't sure whether to include this because I'm not sure it particularly belongs, but I really liked the Flash movie.
Oh, really like?
I did. I thought it was an absolute world away from the horrible, boring Justice League and the even more horrible and even more boring Zack Snyder's Justice League, in my opinion.
Sure, but that's a very low bar. Just because it did better than them.
It's not that it did better, I just liked it a lot more. I thought it was fun, I thought it was heartfelt, I thought it was well acted by Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
I thought Supergirl in it was brilliant, and I wish she had been given her own vehicle. And to be honest, I didn't even mind Michael Keaton coming back.
Okay.
He didn't have like the gruff weariness that a Batman who's retired should have, but it was fun. The whole thing was just super fun, and then it had some really emotional moments in it that really landed with me.
I only remember one. He meets his mum.
Yeah, and then at the end, when he puts the tin back, it's just, it genuinely hit me. I had a little tear.
Oh,
And everyone pans that film. Everyone's like, oh no, the special effects are rubbish. And they are.
yeah.
By today's standards, they are rubbish. But, you know, go back and watch The Matrix and then tell me that's better.
For me, the problem with the emotional core of that movie is that we don't spend much time with the mother, so we don't really get the relationship. It more feels like a plot mechanism.
You don't spend much time with her because she's dead.
There is opportunity, actually, because there's a flashback, pun intended, and then flashback goes in a flashback to flashback. What the audience didn't react to greatly is all the deep cuts. Like, Nicolas Cage is Superman. Like, we know that was a thing. We're movie buffs. We're professional movie buffs.
Super professional.
You need to use your grandma rule. Does your grandma know that he was almost Superman? You know? You need to have grandma rules sometimes. Grandma will be confused why George Clooney is at the end. I thought Robert Pattinson was Batman.
Okay.
For me, it's a mess. My favorite joke in the movie is he orders a sandwich at the beginning of the movie, which the guy makes it very slowly because it's like an artisan kind of sandwich shop. And then he gets his sandwich at the end of the movie, which I really like. That was funny.
Cool, yeah. Do you want some facts and statistics and facts and things?
Yeah.
Cool, so it cost 300 million to make. I think that is the most expensive film on my list, and it only made 268 million. So,
Yeah.
And it has a 63% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is quite high,
Yeah, not bad.
given the hate that it gets. But that's DC fandom for you.
DC fandom, and I'm suspicious of Rotten Tomatoes and Warner Brothers properties because Warner Brothers owns Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay,
Yeah, wasn't it one of the biggest flops Warner Brothers ever had?
potentially.
I heard something like that.
I think the 300 million does not include marketing.
Yeah, it never does. You usually double it up, like probably 600.
Cool, so I really enjoyed that, and I would happily watch it again and again.
I watched it out of curiosity because I've heard so many bad things about it. It wasn't that bad. If you want to make a profitable movie that doesn't just cater to DC audiences, think about your grandma. Will your grandma understand this movie?
I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
Because you make the money when people sit down to watch it. If grandma goes into the cinema to watch that film, like no one watching the trailer is going to know Nicolas Cage is in it. So the grandma's either going to be in the cinema watching it already and not understand, or she's not going to watch it. And that was the problem. No one went to watch it.
But what will grandma do when later they have the Granny's Book Club? Is she going to recommend the film?
Do you think that's how films are generally popular these days? Just
Yeah.
old people's book clubs?
Some people's book clubs. That's the secret sauce.
That is my number 5.
Number 5. Counting down to number 5, our favorite unpopular movies. Starting with number 5.
Do we get the guy from
Watch Mojo. Honest trailers.
Honest trailers, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get the honest trailers guy to do
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for us?
Okay, I'll start my sci-fi extravaganza. I really liked Prometheus.
Oh, wait. Okay.
It has its flaws.
Okay.
All the characters are stupid. Really stupid. What we see on screen was chopped down a lot. It was very obvious that the script was larger and more expansive and more went into the lore of the travelers or whatever, the journeyers, the going people,
The alien makers.
the alien makers, big white dudes. The original screenwriter was the guy who did Lost.
Okay.
And he's a really good writer to a point. He's got lots of good ideas and what to explore and that kind of stuff. And I think he was thrown out and replaced by someone else. And I really love the visuals of this movie. Like, it looks incredible.
I will give it credit for that.
Yeah.
Like, the sets and the filmography is incredible.
It has some of the most horrific scenes that lives rent-free in my memory. And sometimes I think about it, I go shiver up a little bit. Like when, I think Rooney Mara is the actress who's the Ripley in this movie.
Okay.
And she has a C-section. She C-sections herself with a robot to get the fucking alien out of her stomach. And it's fucking horrific.
I don't remember that at all. All I remember is Michael Fassbender being like a robot.
Yeah, and he's really good as well. He's very creepy and weird. There were like one or two more of these alien films and they were horrible. And they were all about Michael Fassbender building the alien. All became like very slasher movie like. This kind of tells you how far this franchise has fallen. There were like 2 sequels to this that no one's seen. Or maybe 1. I don't even
I
remember.
vaguely remember Alien Covenant. In the back of my head, Alien Covenant was a video game.
No, it's a movie. It's mostly about Michael Fassbender experimenting with like alien combinations, and he makes the original alien apparently. But it's just boring as shit. And then there's a spaceship, and that's just like a slasher film, and it's horrible. But this one, Prometheus, I quite like. Just don't take the most of the characters seriously. They're like just whatever people. Just enjoy the cinematography. Sometimes it just looks like a H.R. Geiger painting. It's really cool. And some of the best horror moments in almost any alien movie.
Have you seen A Quiet Place?
No.
Emily Blunt has to give birth in a bathtub
Ooh.
silently. That's a cool scene.
Yeah, I don't like that guy's face.
That guy,
Chin McFace.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Over to me, right. So I want to emphasize, and I'm going to emphasize this at the start of every single one I say. This is not a list of how much I like them going up. It's a
Okay.
list down into the bottom of Rotten Tomatoes.
We're already going with caveats.
But I do like all these films, genuinely. So the next film I liked is a film that nobody saw. I'm interested to see if you've heard of it. It's Tomorrowland.
Ooh, I heard of it. I haven't seen it. It has Hugh Laurie in it.
Yep, and George Clooney.
Yeah, and it's Brad Bird. And it was very critically panned, I remember.
Yeah.
I heard that is like the movie Brad Bird always wanted to make. And apparently everyone hated it. Except you, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, it did okay. Like, it cost 190 million and it made 209 million. Again, that's probably not including marketing and stuff, although it didn't seem to be marketed at all because no one's heard of it. It has a 50% score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a weird story.
Yeah.
It's based on a ride in Disney World. So that's your plot point right there.
Okay.
You're starting from a Finn base. There's like a secret place that you get to through science, and they invent all the world's like cool things. And there's a kid in like the 50s, and he invents a jetpack, and he gets taken to this place to live with the scientists. But at some point, the scientists think, well, we're good, the world's bad, fuck you, and they close the door. And the kid like has grown up and he leaves, and then he comes to like the modern day, and it's George Clooney as like a recluse genius scientist, and they have to get back to Tomorrowland for some reason. I can't remember why. So yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this film. It's fun, it's exciting, it's got some interesting things. It has some pretty decent commentary on the state of the world. At one point, Hugh Laurie's line is, "What are you people doing out there? You have dual epidemics of famine and obesity."
Yeah.
There is a flaw to it.
That was going to be my question. Do you see why people wouldn't like it?
The plot's a bit thin, but the main thing, and if you look it up, you'll see this everywhere. So the kid, when he first visits Tomorrowland, like falls for a girl. I don't know how old they are, about 12 or something like that. And there's this really cute little thing. But it turns out the girl's a robot. So the kid leaves, becomes George Clooney, but he's like pining for this girl he grew up with. And there's these really awkward moments where George Clooney is like holding this girl, and you're like, "What are you doing there, man? Like, what's going on here?"
Yeah, I can see why that would be creepy.
It never says it, but you can tell like it's it's the long lost love done in a really bizarre way. Because the robot, technically, it's a robot, and
Yeah.
it's
Free range.
oh fuck. But yeah, it's really cool. Hugh Laurie is very good in it. George Clooney,
He's always George Clooney.
he's just George Clooney.
He's
Yeah,
George Clooney in everything.
yeah. George Clooney plays George Clooney.
Yeah, I might check it out. I remember because I was a big Hugh Laurie fan. I still am. And I was the one big project he'd done after House MD. I wanted to check it out, but like, I don't know, something pulled me back. I'm not sure why.
Everyone's hate of it.
Yeah, but why? Why do people hate it so much? Is it the plot that it's so...
I don't think you'd like it. I think you'd find it boring.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that was it. It kind of looked Disney-ish and safe.
It is very Disney. Over to you.
So, I've got a movie from the same franchise as Prometheus. And we've seen this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
Do you
Thing.
remember? No. Same franchise.
I know. I was making sure.
Mamma Mia. No, it's Alien 3. Or
Okay.
Alien Cubes.
Alien cute.
I guess that's how it's written on the poster. I think it's from out of the four, it's the most hated Alien film.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
Resurrection is the most hated Alien film.
I don't think people hate that film. It goes in a curve like Alien good, Aliens good, Alien 3 is like a real disappointment. And from then on, Resurrection or whatever it's called is like a little blip. Like it's fun. It's kind of funny. It doesn't really matter anymore. That's not horror film anymore.
I think they're judging 4 by 3 standards, and that way it seems better. So it doesn't get the hate because you didn't get good, rubbish. You're going out good, rubbish, okay.
Yeah.
But
I think people really hate that Newt died, like off screen, because I think Aliens were more popular than Alien.
yeah,
And that kind of had this almost Hollywood-ish. It's still a very good film, but that had that James Cameron edge to it, where it's like, oh, little girl, let's make this about motherhood, and let's not make this like horrible, depressing thing. And Alien 3 comes, and David Finch is like, no, let's make it a horrible, depressing movie. We've seen this film.
we have seen this. And this is the one in the prison, right?
Yes, a space prison with Charles Dance as the love interest who, as he's explaining his backstory, he gets brutally murdered. No one's seen that coming.
So here's a question for you. I assume you've seen both versions.
Yes.
Which version did you prefer? So we went to the Prince Charles Cinema in London. If you haven't been, if you can go, I recommend it. It's really cool to see the director's cut of this film.
Now, it's not a director's cut.
Okay.
It was David Fincher's first film, and he was screwed over by the studio so much that he disowned this film completely. What's called the assembly cut.
Right.
So people kind of try to make a cut from his original screenplay. And that's why I recommend, the assembly cut. It is much better. There's a lot of unfinished effects in it. You just gotta roll with it. But it's still a much better movie. The theatrical is kind of nonsensical. They cut out a lot of interesting stuff. Like one fun fact I have about this movie is so because David Fincher was fucked over so much, he was just shooting guerrilla style with Sigourney Weaver, just the two of them. They were like, just fuck it, just let's shoot this scene. And then they didn't include that in the original version, obviously, because they were like, how dare you go around us. I think it's a really cool movie. It's very depressing, and it's very much like a cold shower after Aliens. But I kind of like it's going back to the Alien roots of there's one alien, and it's more of a horror film and more of a bleak, depressing horror film. I like a good feel-bad movie.
One film I don't have on my list that could potentially belong here, Alien versus Predator. I really enjoyed that.
Okay. Good for you.
Number 3.
Number three.
Number 3. This is probably one I'm embarrassed about.
Okay.
A little bit.
More than me about Mamma Mia.
No, you should be more. You should be more embarrassed about that. If anything, I really enjoyed the Uncharted film.
I heard you talk about that movie. I heard you talk shit about it.
Oh, it's hella stupid. It's so stupid, but that's its charm. It's a really like fun-filled, turn your brain off, and just accept the laws of physics that they're presenting to you because they're not the real laws of physics.
Okay.
There's a scene where boxes hanging out of a cargo plane and he's climbing the boxes while fighting the people. And
Okay.
it's like Indiana Jones on crack. And I really enjoyed it. There's a puzzle element to it I found interesting. It's very kind of, I don't know, somewhere between Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider, that kind of vibe. I've
Yeah.
never played in Uncharted, so I don't know how faithful it is to any of the games. I thought the dynamic between Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland, because they're always insulting each other, I thought that was well written and well acted, because there was genuinely moments in there where I laughed
Okay.
at the dialogue, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, but I'm glad I went to see it, and yeah, I would watch it again.
Yeah. Seems like on the similar lines as A-Team, maybe.
Yeah,
It doesn't take itself too
exactly
seriously.
that. I would put it exactly in that category. Yeah, it only cost 120 million, which is pretty good given the plane scenes and shit, and it made 407 million. So it's very justified itself. But it has a 40% Rotten Tomatoes score. The problem with this film as well is the trailer ruined everything. I think it was about a 2-minute trailer and it literally showed every scene of the film, what happened, how they got there, and then they got to the end and there's like ancient pirate ships being carried by helicopters.
Okay.
There's like 3 of them. They swing around corners and the ships crash into each other and it's...
Who's supposed to be the... Because I haven't played Uncharted, but I know it's like a manly man protagonist. It's like Nathan Drake.
Yes.
Who's that?
Tom Holland.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not Mark Wahlberg? He looks much more
He
like...
was originally there, so it was such a long story. Mark Wahlberg was going to be the manly man, but then Mark Wahlberg became the gruffled old man, doesn't work, and Tom Holland became the manly man, doesn't work.
Doesn't want this nasally British boy became the manly man. Okay.
I guess they future-proofed it. That was the idea, that, you know, in 10 years' time, when Uncharted 7 comes out, that it would make sense.
I mean, you know, it's not Fast and the Furious.
Cool. That's me. Over to you.
Right, so this is... I don't know what you're going to say about this, right? This movie is a 2016 movie.
Okay.
Stars Tom Cruise and Sofia Boutella, and it's The Mummy.
No way.
You're right, I'm shitting with you.
Oh, God.
I was just going to see your reaction.
Oh my God, so many things just came into my head about how wrong you were. You mean you didn't love Russell Crowe as Jekyll and Hyde for no reason? You mean you didn't like the opening things of Dark Universe that never came to anything?
Yeah. No, they did a photo together where everyone's in suits.
True.
That was that's the big crossover. So my actual number 3.
Number 3.
Oh, well, my number 4 maybe with Mamma Mia's. It's Star Trek Beyond.
Is that the one with Benedict Cumberbatch?
No, that was the
Cumberbatch.
worst one. There's 3 new Star Trek film. By the way, I think I'm a pretty big Trekkie. Mostly next gen.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much as other people, now that I think about it. But there's a couple of the old Star Trek films with the old crew that's good. And then there's none for next gen that's good. Like none of them good. None of them's good. And then the first remake is okay. It's like an action film, whatever.
I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it's like a whatever to me.
I feel like it went downhill from there.
And then the second one is just a fucking mess. It's one of the worst Star Trek films. Even within a Bad Bunch is really, really, really stupid and bad.
Is that the one where they were riding motorbikes at the end?
No, that's Star Trek Beyond. That's the
You
one I like.
you like the one? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I encourage you to see that film again, as now you watch Next Generation. Within the last 50 years, the most Star Trekiest film that ever Star Trekked.
What's the one where they beat the aliens by playing rock music at them, or Beastie Boys at them?
There's this one.
Oh my God. I'm just in disgust. Oh my God.
Okay.
That's incredibly stupid. The motorbikes are incredible. Why are they doing all of these 2000s references You know, it doesn't make sense.
So
But that's not my point. That's not my biggest point. So what's the song they play? It's the Beastie Boys.
I don't forget the song's name, but it's the one where they shout.
But why are they not playing Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys? Like, it seems like such an obvious thing.
So
Like, you've gone to the Beastie Boys and you know, Fight for Your Right to Party. No, that's too expensive. This one, no. Intergalactic. No, that's too obvious. No, come on. Like, Intergalactic. Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic.
saving that to the songs, the future songs. I can answer all of your questions. So the Beastie Boys song is actually appears in the first film, the first of the reboots, and it is incredibly stupid there. But because these movies follow up on that, they do it in a smart way where they kind of incorporate that song and they kind of make it into kind of war song. Sabotage, that's the song name. They make it into this war song, this war cry, and it's really cool because in the first movie it was just like a random kind of song they put in, but this follows up on that and gives it meaning. The motorbikes, I don't remember the specific scene. It had a really good setup and a really good payoff, where in the first two movies just dumb things happen because it's written in a dumb way. There's things that are considered dumb that happens, but it's so well set up and it makes so much more sense. It's so much more connected that it works on a much better level. This movie is the only one out of the three that was written by actual Trekkie,
Okay.
which is Simon Pegg. He's a big Trekkie, and this is why I encourage you to see this movie, because so much fucking references to all the Star Trek shows. It's kind of crazy. It's like every other line is like a reference, but not like in a Family Guy way, where it's like, remember this? Remember Captain Kirk? But no, it's like very smart references. They fucking reference Tuvix. They not reference it in a way where it's not like, remember Tuvix, because it's before that. But they find an old transport, and it's like, what if we fuse? No, that would be a really bad idea. And it's a McCoy and Spock, the cold Vulcan and the very human kind of grumpy guy. There's lots of little things like that, and it's a lot of fun and it has a lot of heart. One thing I don't like about it is another like villain of the week movie. That's the weakest part, but Idris Elba is pretty good as the blue guy. And yeah, it's just really well made and really well written.
My lasting memory of that movie, not just the bike scene being stupid, but it seemed like they've got like one square area. And they're just filming in that. So when they're riding the motorbikes, they're just going around in circles, like, and just like popping up in the middle and then going around the corner and then coming back through the middle.
I mean, maybe I do think that probably they cut the budget for this, because the second one, I don't know if it did bad, but it's probably critically panned because it's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the only movie out of the three that feels Trekkie. There's like actual diplomacy in it, and there's like actually ethical dilemmas. They kind of merge the new Trek and the old Trek very smartly, because Spock is too emotional in these new movies, but they use that fact to their advantage in this, and they kind of explore that aspect of him. So I really recommend this. I think it's the best out of the three for sure.
Okay.
Over to you.
Over to me. Number 2. This is genuinely one of my favorite films. Okay. Again, the next one isn't one of my favorite films. I just like it. This one is one of my favorite films.
Okay.
Purely because of how ridiculously stupid it is from start to finish. It's got like a crazy 2.5 hour runtime, and it's just non-stop idiocy. But it's fantastic because of it. It's the 2009 film 2012.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I genuinely love this.
Is that
film.
an Emmerich film? Roland Emmerich?
Guess so.
It's the guy-
Seems very him.
Yeah, it's the guy who did Independence Day and
Moonfall.
and the one where the moon is a serial killer. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, in terms of popularity, it has a 39% Rotten Tomatoes score. But it did make 791 million against a 200 million pound budget. So, it can't have been that bad.
I think I've seen this movie, but it must have been really long time ago.
So, John Cusack.
Woody Harrelson, right?
Yes, it is.
Been a bad vig. That's what I remember from this movie.
Bad wig playing a weird stoner hippie guy. And it's got the guy in here whose name I can never pronounce. Chiwetel... I can't say it.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
That's him.
Yeah. I said it confidently, but I actually don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the guy who's in every superhero film.
Yes. It's just so balls to the wall. You know what? Just fuck physics. Fuck just common sense. We're just going to do a bunch of really fun shit back to back for 2.5 hours. At one point in this film, John Cusack he's a limo driver, and he's driving a limo through the city, and there's a big earthquake and all the buildings are falling down, and a building's falling down in front of him, so he drives through it, through the window of his limo, through the building and out the other side as it's falling down.
Okay.
It has not one but two scenes where they're flying a plane and it goes like, you know, that classic like down below something. Oh my god, did they survive? Yes, they did. We're an hour into the film. Come on, sort it out. Yeah. And I genuinely get goosebumps when it happens as well. Not because I didn't see it coming, but because it's so amazing. John Cusack's ex-wife has a new man. He dies.
Okay.
Like quite late in the film, and the wife just does not give a shit at all. The plot is supposed to be, happy ending. He's with the wife that he wanted to be with all along. At no point did they think, should she be sad about that? I don't know. Kill the husband. She'll get over it. It's fine.
Yeah, he's not the protagonist.
Yeah,
So who cares?
No one gives a shit about him. It's just crush him in a vault door. There you go, done.
Yeah. My problem with Roland Emmerich movies usually is that even though there's lots of fun, schlock things in it, like terrible, funny things, that's half the time, but other half the time it tries to be kind of serious, and it kind of tries to be this Spielbergian, massive movie that takes itself a bit too seriously, and that's boring as shit.
There's none of that in this,
Okay.
I would say. I mean, you've got like the love plot. I think maybe like there's two younger people that get along. There's a really funny scene where like this lady's got a small dog. She's nearly killed herself like 3 or 4 times to save this small dog, and then she accidentally leaves it on the bank because they're in ships, and there's like this tiny little dog running along like the anchor rope. Everybody in the entire group of people is like, come on, dog, come on. Like, fucking close the door. You're gonna die with this tiny dog.
That happens in Independence Day as well. There's Buster, whatever his name is. There's a shot where Buster runs away from an explosion and he jumps and there's an explosion behind him. I have seen it so many times in like one of the stupidest scenes in movies articles.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's so much fun. It never stops trying to give you that sense of suspense, even when they survive and they've got to the ship at the end. Because you think that would be the end, they're sailing off. But no, they're drifting towards Mount Everest.
Do they run away from the earthquake like with the moonfall, with the moon from
Yeah.
behind them?
Yeah. Yeah. Like the earth is cracking
Yeah.
and they're driving away from it. And then that's when they get in the plane. And it's brilliant as well because it's the husband. He's like a pilot. He flies like tiny little airplanes as a hobby on the weekend. And obviously within half an hour of the film, he's flying fucking military jets and fucking those planes that carry tanks and shit.
Right. Genuinely shocking last pick. I'm genuinely curious what you're going to think about this.
Okay.
This is like possibly my most controversial pick. Freddy Got Fingered.
Ding dong! Ding dong!
I love Freddy Got Fingered.
What?
There's a lot of caveats to this. It's not real. I wouldn't even call it a movie.
No, it's not.
It's a big troll project.
It's Tom Green just doing whatever the fuck he wants for an hour and a half.
No, it's more than that. He plays an artist who gets money but still can't do what he wants. It's all a reflection of...
This film has characters?
Yeah.
I didn't see the characters in this film. I don't remember them.
Oh my god, where do I begin? We have to watch this movie.
No.
We do.
No.
We do.
You can put it on your quiz thing, but I'm blackballing it for a standard episode.
Oh my god. It's a movie that's brilliant. But I wouldn't...
Of all the films you've sat there and slagged off, they're so popular, so widely loved, and you've just called Freddy Got Fingered brilliant.
Yeah. But I wouldn't even call it a movie. It is just a big troll project, and it is just a big project of what he can get away with. But his characters, It has hilarious scenes. It's one of those things where we talked about, like, my sense of humor is like lots of repetition and taking things to the next level inside repetitions. Like lots of scenes go way too long and it becomes unfunny and then becomes funny again. That kind of stuff. It is just a big middle finger to Hollywood studios, and it's really cool. I really love it. Like, the title is a child abuse joke. He has a brother in the movie called Freddy, and we barely see him. He gets sent to like a mental hospital. I think there was a subplot originally in it where he gets abused, and it never made it into a movie, yet that's the name of the the movie.
There are two things I remember from that film.
Yeah,
Exactly two.
the jerk-off elephant.
Well, that's one of them. I was
Yeah.
going to build to that. Yeah, the jerk-off elephant scene.
Yeah.
Like, come on. That's.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that and being like, that's not funny.
You know what's funny though is that he not only jerks off an elephant, the elephant comes on him and his father, and then they lie down with all that sperm, and they have their like Hollywood emotional moment in a puddle of elephant sperm, and that's funny. That's funny. I think a lot of the shocking moments people remember from this film are not funny, but what follows is usually like Hollywood cliche insert kind of
Right.
thing, and that's what's funny to me, you know?
The other thing I remember is he's playing the piano and he's got loads of stuff tied to his fingers that seem to be linked to sausages.
Yeah.
And he's doing, Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages?
He just wants his daddy to love him. Gordy, that's his name. Gordy. They say his
Is
name.
that Rip Torn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's hilarious in it too. I love Tom Green's performance. He plays the standard kind of comedy guy, but his eyes always look crazy. He always like just fucking crazy psychotic eyes.
Yeah, that's his whole thing.
I know.
Is
It's
do
great.
you ever watch the Tom Green show?
No, not that one. No.
Okay.
No.
But you know his like whole
Yeah.
shtick.
I know his whole shtick. I think this elevates his whole shtick, because I know his whole shtick is to be annoying, but I
It's
think
not just annoying, but just completely outrageous in every way. He genuinely
Yeah.
like he finds a dead moose on the side of the road and
Yeah.
starts humping it.
yeah.
You know, his bum is on the cheese. His bum is on the cheese. If I get lucky, I get a disease.
I think he elevated that in this movie, because there's a story. It's completely ridiculous. It's almost like they just got like a random script of whatever movie where a guy wants to be an artist and goes on this journey, and they just put Tom Green in it, and it fucking works. It's great. I love it. Oh my god. Do you remember my favorite bit in it is the girlfriend? Do you remember his girlfriend?
Not at all.
His girlfriend is a girl in a wheelchair who just wants to suck his dick. Just couldn't talk about movies that could never be made today. Possibly one of the most artsy films I've ever seen.
Fucking hell.
I'm not
Come
joking.
on.
I'm not joking.
Okay, fair enough. Yep, totally on board with what you're saying. And I say that because my next pick is
Similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else you want to say on Freddie?
Oh my God, I can't
about its brilliance and its artistic merit.
I mean, I think I explained myself very well. So go ahead.
Cool. I do again want to emphasize that this is not a list going up in how much I like them. It's just, this is the lowest rated one on the list. Therefore, it's the last one I'm going to say. I did enjoy this film. I don't love it as much as you love Freddy Got Fingered. But I really liked the film Click.
Boo. Boo. Boo.
I
Boo.
Click.
Boo. Boo.
Okay, so obviously Adam Sandler films, they generally are poorly made, badly written, rubbishly acted, sometimes mildly funny films.
I disagree on that last thing.
This, I feel like he's genuinely tried to make a film. Have you seen Click?
Really long time ago.
Because it's not your typical Adam Sandler film. I don't think Rob Schneider's in it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, the blonde short guy is in it at all.
David
That-
Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Blart Mall Cop's not in it, as far as I know. It's got Kate Beckinsale, and I think he's tried to make a genuinely, by his standard, emotional film with actual lessons in it about life and that kind of thing. And if you just try and like skip through life, then you miss out on all the good bits and all that kind of stuff. I feel like it has a message. I feel like the end is actually, and I don't say this lightly, it's well acted.
Whoa.
It's well acted.
Well,
It's not greatly acted.
Adam
but
Sandler is a good actor.
yeah.
He's better actor than director and comedian.
The scene at the end when he's old and he's like wasted his life skipping through all the bits. His family doesn't like him and his daughter can't stand him, and he gets really emotional. And I think it's in the rain because why not? And he has a little breakdown, and it genuinely like hit me where I feel.
Yeah. That's what I forgot to say about Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh my!
It hit me right in the feels when they lie down in a puddle of cum and they have their daddy son moment. Sorry, carry on.
It is an Adam Sandler film,
Yeah.
and it is.
There's Adam Sandler films and then there's Adam Sandler films, if you know what I mean. Because there's
I don't know what you mean because you said the same thing twice
Well, I try to...
in the same tone.
Okay. There's Adam Sandler films and there's Adam Sandler films.
There you go. Okay. Now I understand perfectly what you mean.
There's the artsy ones he does, but usually not the director. Like Funny People.
I liked Funny People.
What's the one? Punch Drunk Love. That's one of his first movies where he's just acting. I mean, there's artsy ones. There's the Jewel one, Uncut Gems. And then there's, the 50 First Dates, the Clicks, the Nikki Goes to Hell, the Jack
I
and Jill.
liked, despite its name, I liked Big Daddy. I would like to see that again to see how well that holds up. Because again, that's another like heartfelt kind of film where it's genuinely about parenthood and responsibility and growing up. Little Nicky doesn't have like a message at all. Apart from maybe family is good.
Family is good.
But this, I genuinely think he tried to make something good.
Okay.
I don't think he's accomplished great, but I think good is what he's done there. And it's done. It did okay. Cost 82 million. It made 240 million. Because at the time when they made Click, Adam Sandler was the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Of course he was. Why does it cost 82 million?
Films cost loads of money. Like
I know, but that's half of what Titanic costs. And they built half the Titanic. With non-union Mexican workers, but still, it cost a lot of money.
Well, you'd be unsurprised to know that it has a 34% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Well, that is surprising.
What, that is that high?
Yeah, it's that high.
But people always, when they mention Adam Sandler films, they always rag on Click. It seems to be the one thing everyone agrees on. People who like Adam Sandler don't like Click because it's not an Adam Sandler film. And people who don't like Adam Sandler don't like Click because it's an Adam Sandler film. The Venn diagram of people hating on films, Click sits right in the middle. Again, it's not a film I would recommend. I think if I was going to recommend one film from my list, it would be 2012.
Okay.
Because I love it. And Tomorrowland, actually. I would like people to watch Tomorrowland. They won't enjoy it, but I'd like people to watch it.
I'd recommend giving Star Trek Beyond another chance.
I might genuinely do that.
Yeah, I think people just didn't give a chance because after that second one was so bad. It's just a genuinely good film. Because you just recently watched Star Trek stuff. You'll get a lot more out of it, for sure.
Cool.
Are we still friends? Freddy Got Fingered.
Click. Double bill.
At the end of that, we'll both be dead, I think.
Cool. Well, thank you for listening. If you have any films that you like or that most people don't, and if you disagree with us, which you probably will because these are unpopular films, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. And check out that time we talked about popular movies we dislike for more unpopular opinions.
Thank you once again for being part of our Patreon. It means so much to us that you're involved in our community.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next bonus episode.
Bye.
Bye.